Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and the message reads like this. Hello my brother, how are you? Can you please post my story as hidden identity? I have my own story that I want to share with you. So this is a story that happened between me and this other girl from church when she was about to get married. So the first thing that happened is that me and this girl, we were not even friends, but it was only that me and this girl, we were attending the same church and we were in the same youth group. But in that youth group, I was like one of the oldest girl in that youth group. And because of my age, I felt really ashamed when other people were getting married and there was no one who was willing to choose me. It was a very painful thing for me because in our church, for you to achieve success or for people to perceive that you have received your blessing, and if they say that God has blessed you, you need to have a very big wedding, not your regular wedding. You need to have a very big wedding. So in our church, what happens is that with each and every new wedding, new standards are set. Any wedding that happens in our church, the next couple that will be waiting to have their own wedding, they would try to surpass the standards that would have been set by the previous couple. It is like getting married in our church is like a competition. Your wedding has to be much bigger, much expensive. So a lot of people have gotten married in our church, not like people want to get married, but people, they are given that pressure to have weddings. And some of these people, my brother, that have gotten married in our church, I have found out that they do not even love each other at all, but they get married just for the sake so that people can say that indeed they are blessed because they had a very big wedding. But as for me, even though there was too much pressure for me to get married, I could not even find anyone that was suitable enough for me, because the guys that were approaching me, they were guys whereby they could not even afford to give me that type of a wedding that I had in mind. So for a very long time, I didn't even want to date anyone because I wanted a guy that had the highest standards. And I only realized that I was now older when I was now 35 years old, and after the pastor's wife one day had taken me aside and she told me that I was no longer suitable to be hanging around in the youth group, and I had to go and start attending the single ladies group because of my age. And you being in one of these churches, what I've noticed is that when you are in this type of churches, you do not even realize that you are getting older because you keep on telling yourself that you need a man that is going to give you a big wedding. You keep on believing everything that other people will be telling you that comes from the same church, that will be telling you that you need to wait upon the Lord because a good man comes from the Lord. And after I had seen that there is no man that was coming from me at that time when I was somewhere around 27 up until I was 29 or so. The only guys that I was dating, my brother, they were guys that were from outside of the church. And whenever I would try to convince them that they should come to church, and those guys, they were not your church goer types. And as I grew much older, I started sleeping with a lot of guys, but I was not sleeping with guys from church because I wanted the guys from church to think that I was still a virgin. And because of the standards that were being set in our church, the standard of you associating only with rich people, I started dating guys that were wealthy, at least guys that had a financial stability. And you know that a lot of guys that are wealthy and are still single, those guys, my brother, they are players. So I used to date a lot of guys that would end up breaking my heart. And I was that type of a girl whereby if a guy breaks my heart today, by the end of the day, then I'll be dating another guy. And as time went on, my brother, I realized that it was far much better for me to date guys from church. I tried to date some poor guys from church, thinking that God was going to bless the guy that I'll be dating. Then he will be able to give me a very big wedding. But still, my brother, I ended up seeing that all of these things, they were not working at all. So at the time when I became the bridesmaids to that girl, that I ended up using some charms on her because of the gossip that she was spreading around about me. I was 29 years old, and whilst I was selected to become part of her bridesmaids, it was not because she wanted me to be part of her bridesmaids team. It was because her husband has his other friend who was also an older guy, and they could not find a match for him, so they ended up choosing me. This was out of desperation, and they knew it, that this was all because of desperation. And from there on, my brother, we started with the preparations for her wedding. And one thing about this girl is that she was that type of a girl who had a very nasty attitude. You know, that attitude of someone just joking. Even when she jokes about stuff that is very sensitive, she would show that she does not even care. She is not sensitive enough when she is around other people. She just says whatever she wants to say. So in my case, she kept on joking about my love life, how my love life was really messed up. And indeed, for a second, she was telling the truth, but she was telling me the truth in a wrong platform. She was supposed to take me to the side, and she was supposed to talk about my love life without everyone listening, but she was that type of a woman who was very insensitive. So my brother, I became the joke of the group. Whenever we will be busy practicing for the wedding, she kept on joking about how I was now looking like a grandma. And to her, it was very funny that when she and her parents started attending that same church that she had found me already attending, she said that I found you already old, and here I am about to get married, and you are here to be part of my bridesmaids team. And she was saying that as far as she could remember, each and every wedding that had happened in church, I was always part of the bridesmaids team. And she then said, is there any chance that you will ever get married, or God has given you the gift of becoming a bridesmaid for the rest of your life? And whenever she would say this joke, everyone will just laugh. And it kept on giving me a lot of pain, because the girl, indeed, she was telling me the truth, but she was telling me the truth at the wrong place and at the wrong time. As time went on, the jokes really got so bad, and it got so bad that one point in time, I thought of not doing it anymore. I didn't want to become part of her bridesmaids anymore, because there was one point whereby we were looking for those suits that we were going to wear, the ladies' outfits. So there was no size for me. She was having a trouble of getting my size, so she kept on joking, and I said, enough was enough. I am going to fix you. And my brother, for the first time in my life, I found myself kneeling down in front of a voodoo man, and I told that man that was practicing witchcraft that I wanted some charms to harm that girl that kept on joking about my love life, because I thought that she was doing things that were not appropriate. I was here to become her bridesmaid, but I was not here to become the joker of the group. That was when that man said that he was going to give me some charms, and these charms, my brother, was going to make her future husband to become a very lustful man, and she was never supposed to find peace in her marriage. And the rest of the charms, a personal stuff was needed. I was told that if I could get piece of her hair, then it was going to be easy, so that the rest of the charms can be completed. So a day before her wedding, I found out that her fiance was already sleeping around. The fiance begged me to never reveal that secret, and even up until today, he still have that guilt in his heart, because I am the only one who knows about his secret. I found them, they were busy kissing each other, and the words that they were telling each other, it meant that these guys, they had recently slept with each other. And that girl that he was sleeping with at that time, when we were busy preparing for his wedding, that girl went on to get married to another guy from church as well. So I am holding their secrets, but I have no intentions of exposing their secrets. It is their life anyway. So I am someone who is very good at makeup and doing nails and stuff like that. That girl with her nasty attitude, she had said that instead of her hiring someone to do her makeup, she was going to give me the money so that I can do the makeup for her as well as her bridesmaids. And my brother, when I was busy doing her hair, I knew what I wanted to do. So there is one of the weave brushes that I was using, because on that day she was wearing a beautiful weave, but this weave, the way that I designed it, it was mixed with her natural hair, because she had such long, beautiful natural hair. So after I had used that weave brush to comb her weave and her natural hair, that was all that I needed. After she had gone on her honeymoon, I then visited again that magician who had assisted me previously. I then left that weave brush with him, and when I returned back home, my brother, those guys, after they had came back from honeymoon, up until today, they do not have any peace at all in their home. And that magician, he made it such that this girl, whenever she experiences any challenges in her home, she will feel that I am the only one who can solve any of her problems. And the other reason as to why I am the only one who is able to speak with her husband on her behalf, it is because the husband knows that I caught him cheating on her. So whenever he starts mistreating her, I then jump in and I'll start to act as if I am a caring big sister, but I am not a caring big sister at all, because all the confusion that is happening in their marriage, it is all because of me. I am the one who caused all of that confusion. Right now, my brother, the last time that I spoke with her, she told me that she is going through a lot of depression. She came to me and she asked me if she had made a mistake to get married to her husband. And she said, is it the reason as to why you are avoiding to get married? And I was happy and I said, yes, marriage is very overrated. Whenever she comes to me for advice, I am feeding her with a lot of poisonous words. And I know that with all the advice that I am giving her, the poisonous advice that I am giving her, it is going to kill off a marriage. I did all of this, my brother, because of the way that she was mistreating me at that time when we were preparing for her wedding. Do I have some regrets as a human being? Yes, there are times when I feel a little bit of regret, like when I am lonely, I keep on regretting. But whenever she speaks with me, and if she tells me that at that moment she does not even know where her husband is, like the husband will not be picking up the calls, or if she tells me that she has found out that her husband is cheating on her, then I will rejoice. I'll be so happy, because I will know that at least I am alone, but I am not in pain. But as for her, she is a married woman who cannot go anywhere, yet she is in pain.